What up, bitches? It's the misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant. So I finally got around to listening to Macklemore's latest leak titled White Privilege 2. And my thoughts on this track is I love it and I hate it. And it's funny because it's for the same reasons, lyrical content. I'll tell you why I like it first. I like it because it shows how he's able to make a deep ass track, or a track that's very substantial. And this is something that I've been saying about this guy this whole time, but a lot of people are hung up on the fact that he made a couple of radio-friendly tracks on his last album, The Heist, and this guy blew up out of nowhere, so he was under scrutiny for that. Instead of checking his whole back catalog, no one bothered to do any of that. But lyrical song, I enjoyed it. Why I hate it, and I don't hate Macklemore. I think he's a great MC. I've said this before. I will continue to support him. I think he makes great songs, great MC, great rapper, great topics. The reason I can't stand this song is almost because, some of the things I talk about on my channel when I rant, like I talk about a lot of the shit that goes on in the black community. I recently did a video about the Oscars, how I felt about it, how a lot of black people especially, will look to other people in entertainment to be their saviors, especially if the person's white. And I can't help to think that, this is part of what came out of that, a product of those actions, because this all started when he blew up and people were questioning him. This dude's a culture vulture. A lot of white MCs gotta go through this shit. And he was nominated for, I think, Album of the Year or whatever at the Grammys, and so was Kendrick Lamar. And Macklemore won over Kendrick Lamar. And I've said this before in an old video, I understand why he won. And a lot of you niggas didn't agree with me. A lot of you Negroes sat back, said, "Oh, you're defending white people." No. I told you exactly the reason why I believed he won. Simply because of the fact that this guy came out of nowhere, just buzz everywhere. Guy had 2 songs that were mainstream friendly, radio friendly. It just screamed America. I went to the gym. Even to this day, I still hear Thrift Shop, and Thrift Shop is everywhere. You're not escaping that song. As for Kendrick, even though I liked his album better, he had, the only hit off that album was Drank. And that's not really, you could play that on the radio, but when you're looking for a radio-friendly song, you don't want it to be that deep. Thrift Shop wasn't that deep, even though it had substance and he was still talking about stuff. It wasn't as deep as Drank. As a matter of fact, Kendrick's album, Good Kid, Mad City, was a concept album. The audience today in America, they don't want that in hip hop. Y'all already know this. I talk about this all the time. When it comes to lyrical dudes, they're not really don't look to the radio for that shit. Even though you do have some dudes like J. Cole, You still have Jay-Z dropping shit. You still have some dudes that put quality into their lyrics. But that's why Macklemore won. He had a song that was somewhat safe, that people could dance to, that people that really weren't into hip-hop were getting down to. Kendrick, hip-hop heads were appreciating it. Hip-hop heads were appreciating it, calling it a classic, a modern-day Illmatic, this and that. Y'all know the accolades. So I'm not surprised. I'm not mad. I like both artists. I understand it. I'm not like the rest of y'all that, oh, Kendrick should have won, Kendrick should have won, he was robbed. So anyway, I'm rambling. So anyway, all that bullshit that Macklemore went through, it kind of pushed him to say, you know, I think he tweeted or called Kendrick Lamar or whatever the case may be and said, oh man, you were robbed, man, you know. And, you know, at the time, I don't think he should have done that. Look, you won the awards. Listen, say, hey, listen, man, I'm glad to be in a category with you, and just keep it moving, you know. That's what I think he should have done. Not sitting around and try to apologize to him. And you have people say, oh, he should just hand over those Grammys to him. No. He won. That's all it is. It's done. Now, you know, with all of this, I believe this is a product of the same shit. You know, he came under fire for all of that stuff, and you know, a lot of people in the black community are looking for someone to say something about Black Lives Matter, because, you know, it has to come from white people. White people have to babysit your own culture. And you know, he's talking about some of the stuff, like Black Lives Matter and this and that, you know, stuff that's been reiterated over and over and over. It's just that, you know, he has to say it to sort of to quell you, you know. And he discusses white privilege, which I've talked about, which does exist. I do believe white privilege does exist. And you know, I just don't think that he should have made the track. He should have just went on creating his music. That's part of the reason why I like music, because music really doesn't have a color. You know, yeah, there are forefathers who created certain sounds, i.e. rap, rock, metal. You know, there are certain cultures that have done that. And as long as an artist gives credit to those forefathers, you know, if you make good music, you know, your heart is going to be felt, you know, it's going to be felt. And I believe that's why I love music so much, no matter what it is. But, you know, this whole thing where, you know, he's got to, oh, let me just show you that. And that might not be his intention, for him to show you that he's down with y'all. But, you know, it kind of pisses me off, because White Privilege, the first song, is one of the songs that when people are asking about Macklemore, that's one of the songs I refer them to. And if any of y'all did your research, you know, when he first blew up, you would see that he had that song out. That, I believe that album was back in, I have it over there somewhere. I believe that song was, that album was out in 2003, 2004. That's when that song came out. And no one bothered to go back and check for that. No one bothers to say, oh, okay, you know, this is where he's at. Like, he has lyrics, and he was talking about this shit way back then, but he has to come back and reiterate it to y'all. You know, again, I don't think it's his intention, but it kind of comes off as, look, guys, here's where I'm at, you know. And I just say that my message to Macklemore is just continue making music. Listen, people are gonna vibe with it if they like it, and if not, they don't. Period. You don't have to sit and cater to nobody. And that's all I gotta say. Those are my thoughts. I know some people are gonna be pissed off with it, but if you are, fuck you in advance. I don't give a fuck. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe. And that's it. Peace, bitches.